everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kisha. I blog over at kjaggers.com. That link is below, just in case you want to visit. I've been really busy. I haven't had time to update it, but I'm working on it and I'm getting back to it. And I'm trying to think about rebranding and different names and, you know, we'll figure it out together. And I've just been really busy with work and the house and moving and kids and family that I just really haven't had a lot of time. So today's video is just another chit-chatty video. I hope that's okay with you. There's not a ton of places to film in the house right now because I just hate the way it looks. So here we are. I thought today I'd give you some updates. I would go through my last 3 videos, answer some of your questions, and I have my laptop right here so I can, you know, see them. On the first video, let's see, here it is, the divorce series part 1, there was like over 130 comments. I can't answer all those, but I can answer some of your questions just by looking and, you know, reading and figuring it out. So life for me has been okay. It's not great. I'm not going to tell you it's perfect, but it's pretty good. You know, so I'll start with Scott and myself, and I was going to refer to him as the ex, which he is, but I'll work on that later. He is still just like a big whiny baby. He wants what he wants, when he wants, how he wants it, and if he doesn't get it, I'm going to jail, I'm being thrown out. Still, no eviction papers. You know, it was just insane just watching the up and down behavior. And, you know, as I explain it to friends and family, they're like, that is so, like, bipolar. And so, you know, I'm trying to have a little sympathy for him because I know he's whacked out. That with the alcohol and the drugs and the pills and all of that kind of stuff, it's obviously, like, hard for him to tell the truth, to be kind. And he keeps saying, I'll be as kind as you let me be. I don't need him to be kind at all. I need for him to disappear, like just erase him from the planet, and I'll be in a good spot. But still, I can't stand him. I'm not going to sit here and act like, you know, everything's perfect with Scott and myself. I just feel lied to, duped, disposable. I just feel like he just kept jamming that knife in my back, and he continues to. That just shows his character, not mine. But I will say this, that even with all the Scott drama, you know, I am so blessed because I have Russell and I have my best friend and my cousins and I have my friends and my family here. And while, you know, there's some moments that are really hard for me, 90%, 99% of the time, I'm smiling. It's because I'm not dealing with that unlovable behavior around the house, or, you know, the money going out on pills, or the lies being told, and the hidden text messages. I hate that shit. You know, I'm not dealing with that. And I'm also not dealing with cooking every night, doing his laundry, listening to him snore. None of it. Russell doesn't snore. And I'm still not sleeping with Russell, like, sexually. And I know that's a lot to share on YouTube, but I feel like I need to say that. And that's really because he's respectful and he wants to take things slow. To me, he feels like home. He feels like who I was before I ran off with a madman. He feels safe, and he makes me smile, and he makes me laugh, and I value our time, you know, that we spend together, and I miss him when he's not around. And I know it's unhealthy to go from one relationship directly to another. I know that it's not a great example to set to the kids. I know that. But he's not some stranger I picked up. He's somebody that I have a child with, that I love. And I definitely want more. I'm pretty sure he does too. I feel like he does. If it goes anywhere is to be found out. I don't know. I mean, it's just unknown right now. But he definitely, like, makes my days better. And he does stay over a lot. You know, 2 adults can sleep in the same bed, you guys, and not do anything. And believe me, it's me, like, restraining myself. told one of my friends, I feel like I just want to become a slut. I know that's terrible. Please, please, please don't take me serious. But it's so fun. Like, a guy came into the Waffle House and asked me out. Another person asked me out. And it's like, oh my God, I'm still alive. And I'm going to have some freaking fun while I can. So that's been amazing. And it's kind of boosted up my confidence. I mean, I really just am focused on Russell, but the other two were, you know, were nice. It made me feel good. And everybody at work is super nice. I have such a fun time at the Waffle House, and I know I got a lot of questions about that. The manager's program is not where I have to go to college and do all that stuff again. It's learning basically what I'm learning now plus more. And I just got like really comfortable on the grill. There's a lot of stuff you have to remember, and you know, it's insane how serious Waffle House takes training their employees and all that. But I will tell you, I got health, dental, and life insurance on day one. Every 6 months, you're entitled to 1 week's vacation. Managers get like 3 or 4 vacations a year. That's 1 week paid. What are some of the other perks? They feed you twice a day. So obviously I'm eating a lot at Waffle House. I don't have to cook a lot, but I'll talk about cooking in a minute. My feet hurt. That's honest to God truth. I'm not used to being on my feet. I've been dealing with that ankle, and it's getting better. But one wrong move, it's hurting the whole day. I've already done it 3 or 4 times. It's just painful. But working there has given me something to do to take all this off my mind. It's given me, obviously, some money. Not a ton either, but I'm working up to it. But I'm still grateful for every penny because I earned it. It's made some great friends. I haven't really hung out with any of the girls yet, but I see that coming. They are hilarious. These girls are fun, and we have so much fun, but when it's time to work and we have, you know, tables and everything's busy and chaotic, we work. And, you know, especially on first shift, we blend. And first shift is 7 to 2. Third shift is 2 to 9. And then third shift is 10 hours, so it's 9 to 7. I think that's right. And the hours I work is mainly first shift. I did say, you know, I'd work some second shifts periodically because, you know, I get to sleep in, get up and go to work at 2, get off at 9, still have an evening or a night, and I haven't been eating dinner till really late anyway. So first and second are the shifts that I'm, you know, mainly working, and I really enjoy it. I just do. And training is like intense. Like, there's plate marking, and you mark the plates with jellies and ketchups and pickles and hash browns, and then you put, like, say somebody wants their hash brown smothered, covered, and chunked, you would put just a little bit of the hash brown, like 1 or 2 little pieces. You'd put 1 onion, and you'd put 1 piece of ham. So as you get down the line, you know that you have to make this. If this guy starts mowing my yard, I'm just going to die. He's been out there mowing. I really don't need him mowing the yard. I wish he'd just go away. But it's intense. Those plate markers are hard, and learning to call the tickets, like order over medium raisin toast, scatter covered diced, something like that. And so I'm gonna go talk to this guy. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm sorry. The neighbor was just tired of looking at the yard, and he's worried about making his yard look bad, but he's super nice. So we did talk, and yeah, that's good. So with working at the Waffle House, there's lots of perks, and I feel like they've taken me in. You know, I didn't lie. Like, when I was being interviewed, they were, and I had to go through the interview process even though I had family that worked there, but it was a lot easier. They knew that I was, you know, cousins, and my aunt used to work there. They knew they knew me a little bit from that, just from them. But, you know, I was very honest, you guys. Like, they asked, what have you been doing? Well, I've been at home with my family, but my husband's gone, and I have no money, and I'm scared, and I need help. And, you know, they took me in, and that's a very loyal thing right there. And it's just been like a home away from home, and I've always eaten there. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a diner basically. I think there's 13 to 15 seats. It's not even huge. They are known for their waffles, obviously, Waffle House, and their coffee is amazing, and their hash browns, really. I mean, I know it sounds crazy. Even their T-bones are amazing at Waffle House, and so are their sirloins, because I cook them, I smell them, I eat them. Really good, and clearly they take care of their employees. That's clear, at least from what I can tell. I haven't been there 15 years. I don't know all the bad stories, but I can tell you that they have been really nice to me. Regarding the animals, so many people have asked. I don't know what's going on with Cooper. Cooper is now Scott's dog, and I miss him a lot. It bothers me. I cried every time I mentioned that dog for probably a week, but I am starting to feel better in regards to him. Like, you know, when Scott, like, walked out, he didn't just mess up my life, he messed up the kids' lives, he messed up our animals' home, and that alone just makes me hate him. But I'm gonna let Romeo go live with Scott. I don't know if it's temporary, I don't know if it's full-time, forever, I don't know, but where I'm going is super, super small, and it's just not appropriate to take 2 cats with claws, they're not declawed, to this place where they can tear it up and shred stuff up. And like, you know, we moved into a cabin when we first came off the road, and it was small. I had no closets. It was small. Where I'm moving is half that size, if even that. And so the cats can't really run, and there's just no space. And I am taking Gabby. She's the oldest. She gave me beautiful kittens. She is so close to me. She follows me everywhere, and I feel like it would be hardest on her. That's why I'm taking her. I would love to take Romeo, and I thought about boarding him, but I didn't think that would be fair, and I thought about like finding him another home. The only upside to him going to Scott is me possibly getting him back if I move. That's going to be in over a year probably. So it just doesn't make sense. It's just the right thing to do. I miss the dog. I plan on getting a puppy once I get moved and get settled. And, you know, Russell wants me to get like one of those wiener dogs. We have very different, and we're not like full force. We're not getting married tomorrow or anything like that. But he's somebody I've been spending a lot of time with, and his opinion matters. And it's kind of different because Scott would say, the sky's blue, and I would call him a liar because he's lied about virtually everything, you know, from money to pills to, you know, like Scott's way of paying bills is to wait till something gets turned off and then he would pay it. He's terrible at that. He is like planning on filing a bankruptcy. So all the people that he has screwed over bill-wise, he's really going to put it to him with the bankruptcy. And it is definitely a complicated situation. It's not easy, and I'm excited about moving. It's been hard to be in the house, but day after day it's gotten easier. And you know, there's been a few hard days. One day all I did was cry. I kept thinking, I'm giving my cat away, the dog's gone, Brittany's not here, I can't see Zane, Jackson said he's dead. You know, it's just, some days it does become too much. But I am focusing on the good, and the good is the people in my lives, you guys, the place I'm going to live. You saw how beautiful it was out there. It's amazing. It's just a growing period for me. So I've gotten a lot of stuff out of the house already that is, you know, my personal stuff that I want with me. I have a few more things to get, like some teapots out of here, but mostly I'm giving him everything. He can have it all. I hope it makes him very happy in his new life. So now let's go through some of these comments. There's lots. And I'm just going to scan through them and see if I can find the questions. And I maybe should have put a little more time and effort into this beforehand. Sorry. I'm just kind of going down. There's so many. You guys are amazing. I am so touched. I don't know. Okay, a lot of people wanted to know my private email. It's Mrs. Damn, I need to change that. Right now, it's Mrs. MRS Kisha, Kisha, Jaggers, Jaggers @gmail.com. And you can message me anytime. Someone asked, where's my best friend? That one of you kind of thought that maybe she was jealous because I don't work out of the house. My best friend's been amazing. She's not that kind of person. She's not jealous. She's got her shit together. And a wonderful husband. God, your comments are just so amazing. Many of you were happy that I was honest and transparent about the pot. I wanted to talk about the pot for a long time because I believe in it in so many different ways. Like for epilepsy with children, I've watched so many documentaries. I believe in it for relaxation. I believe in it for appetite stimulant, for lots of different things. And I just haven't felt comfortable because I had the kids in the house. Kids are not in the house anymore, so I can talk about it. Why am I not putting stuff in storage? That was another question. And one of that, I just don't want any of this stuff. I mean, I don't want anything to remind me of him. Nothing. More questions about why I stayed while I was being abused. I'm in therapy. I'm trying to figure that answer out. One of you thought he used me to get Zane and asked me if I thought the same thing, and I absolutely believe that. I'm not sure he could have done it on his own. I should be buying my pot from a dealer on the street. Well, I don't live in Colorado. I don't buy it off the street. So many of you are just so sweet, wanting to give me hugs. That's why I was honest with you guys, because you guys are freaking brilliant and you are smart and you are so helpful to me, and that's one of the reasons I love YouTube. I'm just kind of scanning through real quick. The kids are suffering. Somebody thinks I should keep it private. A few of you think that. Well, thank you for your opinion. I'll keep it quiet if I want to keep it quiet. I have the right to say what I want. The kids are fully aware of the entire situation. Like, the kids are aware. How long was Scott and I married? We were together 13 years, married 6. Is it Jackson's dad I'm talking to again? No, it's my first son Jordan's father. Jackson's dad and I are friends. I mean, he has his moments. He's not always nice. But, he's definitely not somebody I would ever get back with. But I love him because of my kids. I'll always love him because of the kids. Do not do rebound relationships. I don't really feel like the relationship I'm in is a rebound. because Russell and I have so much history, and that's something that no one else has with me, because we started out at bicycles, ended at 23, 24-ish, and we were best friends, and he's not a rebound. He's home. He's love. How do I not have any memories? Too many drugs done? Maybe. But I just have a bad memory, and I can't remember a lot of names and a lot of people that, I knew when I was younger. I just can't remember them. I don't know. Some of you were concerned about me drinking wine. Don't be. I'm not a heavy drinker. It's just not my thing. I'm just scanning through these. Just hang in with me. More about Scott using me to get sane. Many of you said you cried with me. Many of you want me to get spousal support. Not sure if I'm doing that. I just don't know. One of them thought my sister-in-law was one of my best friends. She was, but her loyalty lies with her lying, drug-addicted brother, not me. And that's fine. I always thought she was kind of two-faced anyway. Many of you are saying you messaged me on Facebook. Why haven't I messaged back? That's because I got, seriously, probably 300 to 500 messages, and I just became overwhelmed with the love and support, but starting a new job and trying to pack and trying to move, I just can't get to all of them. Doesn't mean I don't love you guys, I promise that. There's not a ton of questions on this one. I'm just trying to hurry up. Let's go to the next one. So many of you are sharing your own stories. You're letting me know that okay, here's a good one. Let's just read this comment and address it. It's not a nice one. It's just me here, bro. Okay, so you're probably going to delete this and block me, but I'm going to say it anyway. Going through abuse stinks, but I hope you realize how lucky you are. You abandoned your oldest son and then abandoned Brittany and Jackson because you needed to work on yourself. You're so lucky that Brittany and Jackson even speak to you. You left them to be with Scott, the same man that's a drug addict and beats you. You need therapy because obviously you have no self-esteem. Now you're talking about your first ex. You haven't been separated more than a few weeks from a man you were with 13 years. Do myself a favor, love myself, and then work on being a full-time mom. Kids come first, no man or anything else. I'm sorry to sound harsh, but I don't have much respect for part-time parents. Okay, so I didn't abandon my first son, not even close. I'm not going to get into all that, but no one was abandoned, including Brittany and Jackson. I think even if you asked them, they would say I didn't abandon them. I know my ex-husband would say I didn't abandon them. I did need to work on myself, and I did leave with a drug addict. And I knew probably 3 months in that I needed out, and I stayed. I don't know why, and maybe it was the self-esteem, but it definitely, with the kids, there are circumstances, there are things private things with my first son, and private things with Brittany and Jackson, and really, unless you're here in my life or a person that really intimately knows me, I don't mean sexually either. I mean just like truly knows, like my best friend, Russell, my mom, my sister, you know, people like that. There's no way you're really going to know the backstory of some of that stuff because it's private. I don't want to share it. It's painful. And I am working on all of that. As for talking to my first ex, no regrets, not gonna stop, totally happy with that. I mean, I'm just smitten over him. I just am. I'm sorry, he feels like home. He feels like Indiana. He feels like me before like aliens invaded. Let's see here. I think I'm almost done with these, just kind of going through them. Many of you thought I shouldn't talk about Scott and the drugs. Too bad, so sad. It's only slander if it's not true. I get so mad because there'd be times I'd wake up and there'd be like pill residue on the counter and a half a straw, and I'd take a picture. I have pictures of all this. I would take a picture and send it to his phone and be like, really? You had to leave that out today? And it's just like the whole family already knew, the kids already knew, and if it hurts one of the kids, then it would break my heart. But I'm not going to sit here and lie or just give you half of it because of the kids. I'm not going to do it. I don't sugarcoat anything for my kids. Don't understand why the Waffle House wants me to get degrees. It's not degrees. They just want me to learn their manager's program. Scott probably thought I would be in a puddle of tears wanting him back and struggling to move on. But look at you. That's what my mom says too. Watch Hillary's America. Yeah, not. There's so much. I should have just answered this. How's my ankle? It's terrible, but it's better. Terrible is better, actually. Wow, how did your kids not smell the weed? Where did you smoke it at? I smoked it outside. Smoked it by a window. I think Brittany smelled it a few times. I'm not going to lie, but Brittany is such a good kid. And she, when I grew up in a house where pot was not dirty. It was not bad. Like my dad, my uncles, and so many people already smoked it. It was not looked at as dirty, ever. The cocaine, the heroin, the meth, the pills, that was all bad. Pot was just never bad. And I wouldn't even be hiding it from the kids, or I wouldn't have even been hiding it from you guys if I really went with my gut instinct of just being open and honest. Like, I'd rather the kids know, because I don't think keeping secrets helps any family. And I don't think that what I'm doing warrants, someone to flip out or the kids to be taken away. But I did want to keep it private because of the kids. But I smoked it outside. I took a walk. I smoked it by windows. I just did my best to hide it from them. And they probably smelled it sometimes. Some of you doesn't think I should be talking about smoking pot. Too bad, so sad. What's going on with Scott's kids? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Zane. I don't know if his older daughter would like me saying this, but we're so close, I don't think she would get mad at me. She is uncomfortable with her father. The word that she used was disgusted. and they have not spoke. And there's much more to the story that I could tell on that, but I'm going to remain private because of the kids, for the kids. But there are three different things that you guys do not know about. And those three different things are absolutely 100% criminal, terrible. If they're true, Scott should be under the bridge or under the jail, if even alive, like seriously. So those three things are really what's upset his oldest daughter. And she's still a best friend to me. I love her, and I told Scott and I told Russell, I'm like, Russell, if you don't hit it off with her, we got a major problem. And I let Scott know because she was like really upset and I was really upset. I'm not giving up Laura for anybody. Laura is one of the best people I know. Now, does she have issues? Probably. But even for me, that's hard to say. She is one of my favorites. She's amazing, and I think every day that she's in my life, I really do. She's one of the best people I know. Somebody said nature heals. Yes, it does. I was in Cherokee Park again last night with Russell hiking with this ankle, and I was trying to be so careful, and it was breathtaking, and it just is simply one of those things that makes me at ease. I don't know why it's hard for me to find the questions. What does it mean he gambled his family? Well, he gambled his family by a couple of things. He left. He thought that he would demand that I do certain things, like his little creeper friend was a pharmacist who lost his license due to drinking and driving, and he thinks he's like a real doctor. I think he has like some type of fantasy of working in a psych ward because he thinks people are psychotic, and he uses all this terminology to make you think he's really something, but in fact he's a washed up pharmacist. And Scott and him created this little plan that I would go to therapy and get put on meds, and I would fight for my family. And Scott gambled that if I would do that or not. Well, Scott knows me, and he should damn well know that I'm not going to listen to anything he has to say about taking medication when he's as bipolar as, some real loonies. Like, he's up and down, up and down, up and down. It's insane. And he gambled if I would do that or not. And if I didn't do it, he wasn't coming back. And if I did do it, he would come back. I actually had a moment of weakness, is what I'm going to call it, where I did go to the therapist in hopes of getting him to come home. The therapist, a psychiatrist that could actually write scripts, pointed out that Scott demanding that I go to the doctor and demanding I get on medication was controlling and manipulative, and that I didn't need medication, that my feelings were completely justified, that after all the lies I've been told over the years, my paranoia was normal in regards to him, like I couldn't trust him, and that was a really big deal. And that's how he gambled me away, because he knew I wouldn't go take those meds. But I did try. I was there. They could have gave me anything, and I probably would have took it that day. But God, I love seeing Team Russell. That is so funny. Really, it should be Team Kisha though. Because like a guy at the Waffle House asked me out, and then another guy. But I'm really just interested in Russell. Like, you guys, he is so comforting, home, safe, and he makes me smile. But it still should be Team Kisha. Minnie, are you telling me just don't worry, get my stuff out of the house? Pretty sure it's not allowed to use someone's credit score report to secure a lease and then not put that person on the lease itself. Might want to talk to your landlord. I talked to my lawyer about it, so we're working on that. I need to stop thinking about my ex. Many of you are saying that, but they're not saying that in regards to Russell. They're saying that to Scott because it clearly affects me and pulls me back. Many of you saying, get the money, honey. Smoking weed, I'm sorry, that's just bad parenting. Grow up and learn to be a parent. You're setting your kids up for failure. You should be totally ashamed of yourself. Yeah, Phantom 0921. Go screw yourself. You probably need to smoke with that attitude. A couple people, one lady in particular, is sympathizing with the homeowners of this house. That's on Scott. He concocted, I did all this stuff electronically for the lease, such as my credit and signing the lease. I have everything. I have all the emails from Margot, and now I'm not on the lease, and Scott's like, it's going to cost me $8,000 to move out of this house. It's a different number every time I talk to him. But I'm not on the lease. Why is that my problem? That's a sweet comment. Okay, let's go to the next video. Newest first. We'll kind of just go down. I had no idea you lost 180 pounds. That was the ex-husband, soon-to-be ex-husband. Why did you leave Russell in the first place if he was all those wonderful things? I hope you don't break his heart again. Well, the truth is I left because, well, I always believed he was cheating with one particular woman, and he ended up marrying that woman at some point. But he says he wasn't cheating. He still says that to this day. But I wanted to get married. I wanted more than what he wanted, and I wasn't willing to be patient. And I don't want to break his heart. Somebody said, I have a feeling you're going to be more than just fine. One of them says, girl, you went from a clean-cut husband to Sons of Anarchy with your men. Oh, I know, I don't even mind the beard either. And he doesn't snore. Please just know that all your videos can be used against you. God, you make me feel like you're slapping the cuffs on me. Seems like you and Russell were meant for each other, so why did you all break up? When you had your first son, why didn't you get married years before Scott? Because he didn't want to get married, and we were young and just kids. You guys are leaving different videos and music. Russell's really funny. Letting me know I have Scott on my Pinterest pic. I need to fix that. I know this video is going to be super long too. A psychiatrist said, so much to say. First, I have a psychology degree, and I want to tell you that the wine, pot, food, and the friend, meaning Russell, are still signs of masking what you're feeling. I'm not judging you, but from what I see, you're still not dealing with the root of the problem. You do seem much happier, but that will be temporary because you will continue to feed the feelings that you don't want to deal with. Please understand, I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you what I see. As far as the convenience food, it's cost prohibitive and will not help you in losing weight. That being said, I worry about you and the kids. God bless you and may walk his path and do his work. Keep your spirits up. So I can't even say your name. Aurelia? Thank you. Hopefully you agree with what the other psychiatrist said, that the counseling and drugs was just control and manipulation. Number one, I hardly ever drink wine, but God knows I've needed some the past little while. The pot is the pot, and I am only changing that for work, not any other reason. And the food is easy, and I've been cooking big dinners for so long, it's nice not having to do all that. I'm not sure what the root feelings are, or I'm asking what my root feelings are. If you have any idea, you're more than welcome to leave another comment. I am in therapy trying to figure all that out. Why the hell would you stay with a guy who abused you? Oh my God. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Another one you guys asked, I just lost it. how often did Scott hit me? He didn't just draw back and hit me. He threw things, and he blocked me in rooms, and he grabbed me. He scared me a lot. Every few months, that'd be my guess. Am I going to make an amends with my oldest son? I hope so. Good, you guys really enjoyed Russell. Am I going to get Russell in more vlogs? I'm sure. I almost pulled out the camera last night. One said, okay, I'm going to say it. I know a little something about the relationship side this time, so it won't be random. Here it is. I get no negative vibe, and she put it in all caps, with Russell. He is a funny guy and doesn't seem anything remotely like Scott. He made me giggle at more than one point throughout the video. I totally love what you guys are doing to help you heal. Getting out into the sunshine, enjoying nature, that's how you do it. What a sweetheart. Will I be deleting videos of Scott and I? No, I don't think so. I mean, I would like to, but in all honesty, yeah, no, probably not. It's like night and day from him and Scott. I know it seems awful fast. You guys don't have to tell me that. I already know. I still haven't done anything like with Russell. He kissed me. That's it. And that's because of him, not me. I'm putting that out there. I don't care. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was meant to be because we're here at the same time. We're at the same place. We basically feel the same thing. I don't know. I'm just happy. Am I ever going to see Zane again? I can't tell you that. Probably not. I'm just a step parent. I don't really get to have a say so. Some of you love prayers. So let me tell you, I teach people how to treat me. If someone hits you, you get out now, woman or man. And you're right about that. You know, I'm tired of looking at these comments. I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. I have really done my best to stay as positive as I can. Now there's bad days, there's okay days, but I just feel good. And Scott don't get any of that credit. And I don't think Scott would ever beg back. I don't think his gigantic ego would ever allow him to do that. He wants to help. He wants to save. He wants to feel needed. And I don't need him. I don't want him. I think what he did to his family is inexcusable. I think what he did to the kids is inexcusable. I think what he did to our animals is inexcusable. And I think there's a special place in hell for men like him. You know, he's one of those men that would probably, go on a business trip and take off and never come back and see his kids. I'm just over it. Many of you have asked what I do in the evenings when I'm alone. I pack right now. Hiking because I'm moving to the woods. I'll be enjoying nature a lot, and I'll take you along with me. There's gonna be so much I forgot to say, and I know reading those comments just kind of ate up a lot of time, but I will get back to making videos and everything. I see that other videos besides me sitting here and talking, I see that happening within a couple of weeks, just so you guys know. Once I'm in where I need to be and I can get the tripod set up, I don't know if I'm ever going to really film me on the inside, but I can put the camera down and film planner videos and reviews, all that kind of stuff. Cooking videos, well, that's another thing. Russell wants to cook. Can you imagine that shit? I've cooked for 13 years, and now I've got somebody who says, I'll make you dinner. Or somebody who doesn't mind heating up a lean cuisine with me. Crazy. How much am I seeing the kids was another question. As much as humanly possible. It's not as much as I'd like, but again, within a few weeks, I really believe that that the schedule will get together. Like, you know, my work schedule is flexible. Like, I'm off tomorrow. I'm off different days. You never really know. So that won't be consistent like what I'd really like it to be. But I think seeing, you know, special nights with the kids and, you know, I think the schedule will work out and shake out within a couple weeks. Once I'm moved, once I'm out of this house, once I am completely on my own, I think I'll be fine. And I think the schedule, the YouTube schedule and the blog schedule and all of that will be right back to where it was, if not better. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, school is underway. Brittany and Jackson are doing great, and Laura is doing great, and she will be here tonight. I'm in love with that kid. I'm in love with all of our kids. And that's what I believe, and this is what I want to say to everybody who thinks I should be crying. And believe me, there are haters watching this video and all the others. Not most of you guys, though. To the people who don't like that I am, I guess, seeing Russell, he's driving me crazy. I think he's just flirty nonstop because he knows it drives me crazy. But this is what I want to tell you guys. In my opinion, I think you should fall in love as much as you can. Fall in love with as many people as you can, with as many places, with as many things in nature as you can. Because when we die, that's all we take with us, our love and our memories. And I feel like you should fall in love over and over and over and over. I think many of you made it very clear that there was something off in the videos with Scott. There was something off with our chemistry. And I knew that. You know, I am such a liberal. He is such a Republican. I expect nothing but transparency and honesty, and he barely even knows the definitions of those words, let alone how to put them into practice within his own, you know, self and marriage and life. I think we were so different, but I was amazed that this attractive man, and he was so much more attractive then than what he is now to me. Now he's just like I would probably go find a bum under the bridge and marry him before ever getting back with Scott. Like, he's just not it. After filing a police report and an EPO and divorce papers, like, that's a bitch thing to do to your wife of 13 years. That is just a little bitch. And I'm sorry for cussing, I really am. But I'm just being honest with my feelings. That's how I feel. That's a whiny little girl. That is not a man who cares about his family. And I think that I think that, you know, I was where I needed to be when I needed to be there. I think I had all the signs that I ignored, and I know I ignored them. Like 3 months in, he broke a really expensive purse on the road. I'll never forget that purse. It's one of my favorites. He broke the handles. Early in, there was issues, and I stayed. I am honestly a very loyal, dedicated spouse, mate, girlfriend. I am very loyal. The last thing I'll do is call the cops on somebody. The last thing I'll do is leave because I hate my life. I will try to fight. I'm not a quitter. But I should have known, because Scott can't keep a job at a dealership more than maybe a year or two. And that's just his MO. It's the way he is. And I should have known, like, one person said to me in a comment that I forgot to answer, why would I marry a man who had been married so many times before? That's a great question. I should have seen that as, you know, red light, red flashing light. No, no, no. But I wanted to be married. I wanted the stability of a husband and a family and a home. And I wanted, you know, a man in the house. And I was just stupid. Just stupid. And I felt like this was what he wanted to do. He kept saying I was going to bring him to Indiana and divorce him. And you know those people, like, if they're cheating and they're like, you're cheating too, you got to be cheating, you got to be cheating because they're cheating. I feel like all along he knew that he was going to come up here and move. Now, he even told Jackson that he was going to move out, move out, move out. But no one really told me that. And Jackson didn't tell me that either. When I asked why just a few weeks ago, he said that it was because he didn't want to tell me and have me start a fight with Scott. He probably didn't want it to happen. And Scott, you know, not one time has checked on Brittany or Jackson. He hasn't checked on his own daughter, Laura. Like, and I'm not sure if that would be a good thing or not, but I'm just saying, like, he told me he's trying to focus on being a good father and learn to love himself and all this horse shit. And he's up at 2 or 3 in the morning texting me, and you know, like, fighting with me, and that's not sober Scott, I can tell you that. I think he's just more trouble than what he's worth. So, you know, I like to mess with him every little while and piss him off. I told him I wasn't moving out of this house, which really got him going today. But, you know, he doesn't realize that he's not like God's gift to anybody except hopefully Zane. And I don't care what he does. And I'm actually enjoying upsetting him. I know it's mean. But I'm just not going to let him steal my happiness. And he's already stolen so many years that he doesn't get any more. That's how I kind of look at it. No more tears, no more anger, just no more, period. On a different subject, I did like darken my hair up a little bit. So it's back to more of the natural color. And loving that. And I'm going to go find something to eat, check on a few things, and I will see you guys very soon. So sorry if this video was long. Hopefully the next time I film a video like this, we'll be out at the new place, and I'm excited. Talk to you guys later. Bye.